It's a matter of fascia tissue. Probably never heard that in the context of medical or physical care. But did you know the fascia tissue is really, really important for overall body compositional, the way it's arranged and the way it's held together? With that said, what is the fascia tissue?
Fascia is a type of connective tissue that if you were to take everything out of the body and leave just the fascia, you would have a holographic image of a person in front of you. And fascia,
Kind of like a Spider-Man outfit, it sounds like.
kind of like a Spider-Man. Fascia has multiple layers from superficial to deep, even organ or parietal fascia that encompasses organs. And it's much like a fishnet, if you will. If you get a snag in an area of fascia, you think about that pull in the fishnet, it's going to affect the whole fishnet. So that area of fascia can become constricted, and it can be deficient in the production of something called hyaluronin. And when it becomes deficient in that particular substance, the fascia dries up, dries out, and becomes like a trigger point. And that trigger point can be a nidus for chronic pain.
Well, you talk about hyaluronin, you hear people all the time talk about hyaluronic acid. That will help repair that. And fascia is made of collagen. A lot of people don't think about fascia as being important because it's not talked about. But as a former massage therapist, you would really heavily focus on the fascia, wouldn't you?
Well, that's where I would get the biggest difference. And you can change the snag in the fishnet by applying pressure over time. It's called hysteresis. Things will change in their nature if you apply pressure and heat through time. So you can essentially give the body a good ironing. It's like exercising an area that doesn't get enough physical exercise, if you will. Fascia can become very dysfunctional if we don't move because it's blood, oxygen, and nutrients that are moving through the tissues that irrigate the tissues and bring nutrition to them. So if we sit too much, fascia can develop this thing called myofascial pain syndromes because there's just not enough nourishment and there's a lack of hyaluronin that's being produced, and the area, the body becomes dysfunctional.
Well, it's interesting because I think of fascia, maybe two different analogies. One is like pantyhose, right? And the other is like maybe aluminum foil. Both wrap up something, but if there is a run in the hose, that's a problem. And if there's a wrinkle in the wrapping, the aluminum foil, that's a problem too. And you're talking about the ability to kind of fix those runs and fix those wrinkles, even with your hands, right?
Well, whether it's chiropractic, deep tissue massage, there's other things like cupping that are out there now, acupuncture, dry needling. Those techniques all affect the fascia and the fascial layers. And the principle is bringing blood, oxygen, and nutrients in and flushing out an area that's been stagnant. Now, how else can we treat fascia? Of course, nutrition is going to be highly important, and getting enough simply of the omega-3 fatty acids, because omega-3s bring inflammation down.
Good point. And I think people need to understand, since fascia is made from collagen, I believe there's 5 types of collagen.
Yes.
Type 1 is the most abundant, but then I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, type 3 is the structure that builds the fascia. But the bottom line is we can actually bring in collagen, can't we, with supplements. I like whole body collagen. Use it every day.
Put it in your water, dissolves in your water. It's tasteless, colorless, and can go down the gullet while you're working during the day, while you're riding your bike. You can have it in your water holder, in your backpack, fanny pack, satchel. You can take
People
it
are
with
saying,
you.
well, doesn't that get gross? No, the freaky thing is you can put a scoop of our whole body collagen into water that's clear, give it a little bit of a twirl, and it pretty much goes clear again. It's got a little tint of a maybe a dingy brown, maybe a little bit.
Maybe.
But it's slight, but it tastes good, and you don't taste any difference. Some people also put it in their coffee as a creamer. Pretty cool.
So nutrients, collagen, omega-3s, other things that can help fascia are just applying heat.
Yeah.
Maybe through something that's put it like a beanbag that's put in a microwave, and not necessarily electrical heat to tissue, but something that's heated and then placed on the tissue can improve blood flow and oxygen to the tissues. There's also yoga. Yoga is, when done right, yoga is a very dynamic athletic activity that essentially lines up the joints and can help stretch or line up fascia as well.
Well, lining up the joints, lining up fascia, lining up anything is going to help better blood flow, isn't it? I mean, I think that's the moral of the story here. We're trying to bring about oxygenation back to areas again because there's healing in the blood.
Yeah. You talk about that yoga position, down dog. When you get in the down dog, you know which joints are tight and need some stretching. And as you hang out in one of those positions for a while, that's heat and time, blood, oxygen, and nutrients to the tissue, which improve the health of the fascia. Also using maybe a foam roller. There's all kinds of foam rollers on the market now.
Well, there is, and it's mixed, and sometimes, mixed data it's just what it is. It's mixed. It doesn't mean it doesn't work. It doesn't mean it does work, but you think something does work and it makes you feel better. That's good. I think that when you look at this whole process of the fascia tissue, it's neglected a lot, and a lot of people find themselves in chronic pain situations. I think of plantar fasciitis. The fascia that's on the bottom of your foot and how that gets misaligned and all that, and all these things that can happen. But if we just give a little bit of attention, a little bit of fascial love, and even some facial love too, we'll probably see a little bit more healing there. So, I think take your collagen, do some things we talked about today, make sure you stretch, and make sure you get with someone that knows what they're doing, obviously, to give your fascia a little bit of treatment. And you might find yourself being freed up from some of these pain maladies that bother you. So give us a call at our clinic or reach out to us at Sherwood.tv, and we're happy to help you.
It's often said that we need to break a diet or break a fast.
No, I don't like the concept of cheating at all, but we're going to show you some true cheat codes next.
I could use your assistance.
Okay,
Jesus. Huh? My name is Jesus.
Sure. Jesus.
Jesus is here today.
You looking for a job?
Yes, sir.
You and Mark have 45 days before the bank forecloses.
Not to worry. They do not call me, by God, Byron, for nothing. The collection plate starts to be passed around. Mark reaches into the basket and shouts, "You and your family are the winner from the first church of the lotto." Kind of think of it like a high-stakes bingo night every Sunday.
Poopy diaper!
Poopy diaper!
This video of the diaper is going viral right before our eyes.
This is a miracle.
What is?
Friends of Faith has over 300,000 followers.
Oh my dad! That's more followers than Moses had.
Jesus! Take the wheel! No, stop, take the wheel!
I got it, buddy.
And when you navigate through these economies with people, here's what happens. We want to hold their hand through it, let them know when it's time to buy, sell, reallocate, get out of Dodge. Because a lot of times when you're struck with fear does two things. Number one, it can paralyze, and people just put their head in the sand and say, I'm just going to forget about it and hopefully it gets better. Or it causes you to make a wrong decision. And this is why we are here, is to help people navigate through the political quagmire nonsense that's going on, the economic malaise, and the absolute collapse that we're seeing. And when our freedoms are eroding, our political freedoms, our economic freedoms, our personal freedoms, our religious freedoms, our health freedoms, they're all tied together. But you know what doesn't need to erode with that? Our finances.
KirkElliottPhD.com/Sherwood.
Let's shine the spotlight on one of our star supplements.
The human body can make most of the types of fats it needs from other fats or raw materials.
but not omega-3 fatty acids, also called omega-3 fats or N3 fats.
These are essential fats that the body must get from food.
Biomega 1000 provides a potent dose of omega-3 essential fatty acids sourced from a strategically placed fishing facility in the far South Pacific Ocean off the coast of Chile.
Each capsule delivers an impressive 1,000 milligrams of EPA and DHA, and the capsules also contain vitamin E. See the link below for a special offer, and remember, don't be fooled by cheap online knockoffs.